What's happening, people? Dan Lawless here, back with another video. This time it's focused mainly on players leaving the club, as West Ham have announced officially some players, some big names that will be leaving the club. Before we get into that, this video is sponsored by OneFootball, the app that lets you keep up to date with all the stats, news, scores, transfer news, all of that stuff. Link is in the description down below. But let's just get straight into it. Now, a lot of names here that we pretty much expected and it was sort of rumoured about, but it's all official now. The big one being Andy Carroll, who is leaving the club after, I think it's been must have been about 7 years or something he's been with us now, Andy Carroll. I've just got to turn the camera straight on. I ain't really, been and checked dates and stuff like that, but he's been with the club for a long time now, and we all knew he was pretty much confirmed to be leaving. There was rumours about a pay-as-you-play deal, and he was getting a new house in London, or he got a new house in London, so there were suspicions. But yeah, he's gone, which is the right move. 90 grand a week wages, injured for a lot of his time with the club, and it just didn't really work out how we wanted it to work. It was a classic sort of West Ham signing. But it gave us some good moments. It gave us some very good moments. There was that special goal against Crystal Palace, scoring the winner against Chelsea at home, the hat-trick against Arsenal at home. So it gave us some good moments and some feel-good moments, but didn't really live up to his expectations or really, his wages. But I wish him the best of luck. I don't know what passion he really has to go on and find a new club or whatever. He's just happy to retire, and it's always been said that he's not really passionate about football and he's just more naturally gifted. But yeah, good luck to him. Like I said, I think it's a good move for the club, definitely, to let Andy Carroll go. Best to move on. He was desperate to stay, so you feel for him in that capacity, but it's a good one. The one that I'm really sort of down about a bit is Adrian leaving. Adrian, a big fan of Adrian at the club. One of the sort of cult heroes at the club. He's been a good servant for us, a good goalkeeper. Adrian's been with us for about 6 years, and in that time he has become, loved by a lot of the fans. He was our first choice goalkeeper for a long time, up until Darren Randolph came, and then he was sort of in and out, and then Joe Hart came, and then he was in and out, and it was mostly Joe Hart, and now Fabianski's just really, taken the team by storm, and he's lost his place, and he was in the cups, but he wants to play. He wants to play football. Good luck for him. I would love for him to stay and have Fabianski and Adrian, but he's too good a keeper to be a number two. And what I've always liked about Adrian is, you can tell he loves the club, and he's just an all-round good bloke. Like, I remember when me and Nikki went to the training ground, I think it was last year, when we was getting, we're trying to get a shirt signed for charity. I can't remember if it was the Isla charity or something like that, but we were trying to get all the players to sign these shirts so that we auction off for charity. And as the players came out of the training ground, now many players didn't stop. The ones that did stop looked, visibly annoyed and was just like, yeah, all right, and was signing people's stuff. He was the only player that not only did he stop, he looked really happy to see the fans. He had a big smile on his face. He was friendly. He was warm. He was talking to the kids. And it just really, really showed the sort of person that he is, and that really spoke volumes. A lot of players were just, taking the secret way out or slipping out, or just, like I said, just, yeah, all right, yeah, God's sake, that sort of thing. Where he had time for the fans, and someone like that, I think you've got to miss at your club. That is such a good personality to have, and yeah, I'll miss him. And who can forget that amazing moment, Everton in the cup, when it came down to penalties, comes down to the two keepers, he takes his gloves off. He's like, no, it's done, and smashes it in the back of the net, and that celebration, what a moment, unbelievable. Like, to have the ball to just go up and take your gloves off and be like, I'm not going to need to save another penalty because this is going in the back of the net. Love it. He got cult hero status that day, so I really wish him the best in his future. Adrian, really gutted that we couldn't find a way to keep him at the club, but Fabianski's been unreal this season. Nasri is another one. Samir Nasri is another one who's been released. Couldn't keep fit, unfortunately. And the few times we did see him, he was quality, but we just couldn't keep him fit. He's 32. He's been out of football for quite a while. I would have liked to see him get a pre-season with the club. I know we want to move away from that type of player, sort of older and bit of journeyman, and it sort of wants to, not really got the hunger and passion, but he's got that quality. And I think if he could have had a pre-season with the club and really work on his fitness over the summer, he could have really added something next season, because he still looks unbelievable. But he's another one on high wages. It's not, if we can get someone else in instead of him that's a bit younger and hungrier, then I think that's a good deal for the club. So it's not the end of the world, but I would just like to see what he could have done with a pre-season under his belt. Also, Tony Martinez has been released. The young striker, it's been on loan for I think the past couple of seasons or so now, and he's been someone that the fans were really calling to be given opportunity. I think in that Moyes season, particularly, fans were looking for him to get an opportunity, and we saw dribs and drabs him because he was a prolific for the under-23s. He was banging in goals like nobody's business in the under-23s. We saw him in dribs and drabs, and you could say, well, did he really get a chance? So it's a bit of a shame, the fact that we haven't really got to see what he can do. But maybe the people in training just thought that he weren't going to be able to hack it at Premier League level. So we don't know. I mean, these guys work with the players on a daily basis. So yeah, a bit of a shame. Someone that we had such high hopes for, and he seemed like he could be a prolific goal scorer. Midfielder Moses McCarthy has also been released, which he's another player that we had quite a few. I've got to stop saying He's another player that we had. We heard quite. There I go. I've just said it again. He's another player that we heard quite a bit about, that seemed to have a bit of promise, that has now been released. Another young player, Noah Sylvester. Also, Vashon Neuville. Not really heard about them. Josh Pask is also gone, which is a bit of a surprise. And then there's some young players that have been released. There's also talk about Samuelson going as well, but that's not in the list of names here. But it's talking about Martin Samuelson going as well, which is Martin Samuelson is another player I had really high hopes for, because he looked unbelievable. Every time I see him play, he looked unbelievable. He looked good for Peterborough. The few times I got to see him for West Ham on 23s, or when he got a chance, he just looked like an absolute baller. And I guess over time, they just determine that he's just not Premier League quality. So yeah, I think for most part, they all make sense. The players, for the most part, they've been released. So we've cleared out quite a few players there. We've freed up some wages, and now we can hopefully go and focus now on building and bringing in new players. But I'd love to know which player you guys think that we should have kept. Which player was it a mistake not to keep? Lastly, I want to quickly mention kit leaks. The home and away kits have been leaked on the internet by someone, and they seem to be out. It seems to be genuine, and a lot of good reviews. I'm 50-50 about the home kit. I have to see it really. I have to see these kits in high quality. When we get these crap, shitty, poor, low quality images with poor lighting, it's really hard to fully judge. That's why I'll really wait to see the official unveiling. You can see it in videos, you can see it on the players, how it sits and how it hangs and stuff like that. That's what I want to see. The home kit, the away kit looks nice. It's sort of based off our FA Cup final win kit. And it looks smart, it looks tidy. I like the collars and the trim around the sleeves. It looks nice. And the home kit, it looks alright. I'm just waiting to see how they look properly. These are probably kits I'll look to get without the Betway logo. Usually I like to have the Betway logo on it, because it just looks too plain. Like, it looks like there's just something missing there. Do you know what I mean? There's this big gap. But these kits I think will look a lot smarter without the Betway logo. So let me know what you guys think of it. But the main thing is, which player do you think it was a mistake to release? Who should we have kept hold of? And Shaqiri, yes, no? And what do you think of the kits? So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to leave your comments below. And thank you for all the support. All those people that headed over to my other channel, Dan Damo J. So if you haven't already, trying to get to the 500 subscriber mark, if you can help us do that, that'd be brilliant. So I think you can click there or something if I'm right. So thank you guys so much for watching. One thing left to say, come on you Irons.